Siri needs to take a ASL class.
Historically, the king would own all the land.
Or am I allowed to smoke weed there?
This sounds naturally to me like this is going to be a divisive conversation.
I want to clarify, are we allowed to curse here? Not.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay. I just want to make sure. I don't know if kids watch this. I don't know.
And I mean, I don't know how you guys will get along. You live in godless Southern California, pollution, cars, traffic. You live most of your life in beautiful national parks. You live in Montana right now. How would I call someone
You're an
Every day I hear people say the earth is in danger, the environment is in peril. You might even think there's no hope left for humanity. It's easy to dwell in despair, but I decided to do something about it. I've assembled a team of experts who can help solve once and for all each and every one of these issues here, today, at the fire pit. Let me introduce you to Jeff Mow, former superintendent of Glacier National Park. He's had 23 years of experience in Alaska's national parks. And Harold Foxx, screenwriter, actor, comedian, Tennessee native, and self-professed city guy. They no doubt come from completely different backgrounds. They must put aside those differences to fix our planet. Would you guys mind introducing yourselves in your own words and sharing what nature means to you?
My name's Jeff Mow. I formerly worked for the National Park Service in many places over many years, 24 years in Alaska, but now I tend to be a nonprofit activist working on behalf of parks and public lands in my retirement.
Thank you. I'm Harold Foxx. And yeah, I mean, you said it right. I'm raised in Memphis, Tennessee. And now I live here in Southern California.
You studied screenwriting. You just got your MFA, right?
Yeah, I just graduated with my MFA in script writing.
Congrats, man.
I just filmed for a horror film for 3 weeks. Washington. It was near Mount Rainier, about 10 minutes. It was the middle of nowhere. It was very interesting. I think I was the only black dude there, but it was a peaceful moment for me too. Just when we were filming, it was crazy. It messed my mind up. But I can't wait for the film to be released. I think it's beautiful, a beautiful piece of art.
Harold, did you know you own this beach? That's right.
If I actually own this beach, why haven't I seen any money in my bank account?
Because it's a public beach, it's public space, it's public land that we own. We all own this land.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know, I'm sorry. Do you mind explaining to us what is important about public land, and also what is the difference between something like a public beach and a national park?
Historically, you know, the king would own all the land, and then you would either pay rent to them or somehow you know, you could be prohibited from using that land. But public lands, the idea is that everybody can use it to some extent. Part of it is public lands are unique to our country, that the United States was one of the first countries that ever set aside land for the entire country to own. So that's a very unique heritage. And public lands are used for mining, for timber, for recreation. Now the national parks in particular, today, as the system has evolved, again, are those iconic places that tell America's stories. Obviously, where the Declaration of Independence was signed, Yosemite Valley, Jimmy Carter's home, Martin Luther King's home, iconic locations that tell stories that are important to America's history. You know, to me, my father waking me up at 3 in the morning, it was dark, we drive north, out of, you know, north and up into the Eastern Sierra. It instilled in me so much excitement and association with going to natural places. You know, later to find out from my father that the reason why he took me camping when we were little is because it was the affordable thing he could do. He didn't have the money to take us to Las Vegas. He didn't have the money to take us to San Francisco. Camping was affordable. And I think that's a big, you know, things are so expensive these days. Affordability is an issue. How will camping and use of our public lands that way continue?
So you mentioned no king owns this land, right? What if someone like a king wanted to maybe sell off some of the public land and give it to a business or corporation. How does that work? Is there any way for us to protect that or keep that from happening?
Well, there are provisions that allow for public land to be sold or accessed, but there's a process that Congress has laid out. There's laws that dictate that, so it's a very deliberate and thoughtful process of why are we giving up public lands? Why are we taking out of public ownership?
I'm wondering, if Elon Musk said, I want to buy this beach for $1 billion, can he do it?
I'd say the initial answer is no, but I don't know if there's a provision in California law that would allow for that consideration or not. I think it would be a very long process, if not impossible.
A very unpopular one.
Yes. I mean, this beach, I don't think the state of California is making money on this beach. Yes, there's a few concessions along here, but it's not a money-making deal for them. But they provide it because it's important.
But if Elon Musk buys it, then I think he might find a way to turn a profit, just saying.
Yeah, and then you lose the affordability, probably.
Probably, yeah.
More than likely.
This segment is called, Is It Nature? Is it nature? The beach.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, it's nature.
The beach, okay. Flowers.
Yes.
Flowers.
Yeah, that's part of nature.
Okay. Getting philosophical now. Flowers in a vase.
Maybe.
Wait a sec. Probably not. It's stuck in captivity. Maybe you break the vase, and then it's nature.
A broken vase is nature. Okay.
Yeah.
Christmas trees.
Are you talking about a real or a fake Christmas tree?
Either.
Well, a fake tree is probably not nature. A real Christmas tree, if you go outside and you chop it down, that's nature, I guess.
I think it's a celebration of nature.
Carbonated water.
Carbonated water does occur naturally. Yellowstone National Park, you will find carbonated water that
Is it
occurs
safe
naturally.
to drink that water?
It's probably safe, but you might have some bad reactions to it.
I remember when I was in Washington State, again, for filming the horror film, we were there for 3 weeks. The people who took care of the Airbnb where I stayed, they saw me carrying water bottles, or I mean a plastic case of water, and they said, no, 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 no. And they showed me outside that they had a well. They had a natural well, and they said, this is the water. It's from the mountain, and this is the water we drink. And when I drank it, it was definitely fresher.
Humans.
Absolutely. We're part of nature.
Yeah, definitely.
We're all part of nature.
I was a Boy Scout a long time ago when I was young, and I don't even remember what they tried to teach us. I always failed that little that thing we had to say, and I would just act like I had to say it because I'm deaf, so I got away with that.
I wasn't in the Boy Scouts, but I was a Cub Scout, which is like, I guess, junior Boy Scouts, and I was so bad at it that they didn't let me be a Boy Scout.
Growing up, I thought when you were in the Boy Scouts, that means you had to go to the Army, and I thought that when I was young. No.
I think a lot of them do.
I think the biggest benefit I had out of Scouts was the knot tying for boating, camping, tying things on the car. These knots I never forgotten.
My favorite part about Boy Scouts, you would get to make a wooden car and race against each other. You know what I'm talking about?
I remember that. I did that, yeah. This segment is called Guess the Guest's Quotes. I'm going to read real quotes that either of you have said, okay? And you have to guess who said them and explain what they mean. Climate change is such an overwhelming topic.
Sure, I said that.
Of course, yeah, that fits with your title, man. National parks for 23 years, you said something like that.
Climate change is an existential issue. You know, what's going to happen to our giant sequoias in Sequoia National Park? You know, as climate change progresses, as time progresses, the only way to preserve them are to put them in glass domes. It's not a very natural process. But is it something we would do to save a species?
I'm not going back to Palm Springs anytime soon. It's too fucking hot.
Sure, that was Harold.
That definitely sounds like me. I think I did say that. Probably in my stand-up. I think I said that.
So have you been back to Palm Springs?
I'm trying to avoid it during summertime, but I've gone. Yes, it's still hot in October, but yeah, I've gone back.
Here's one. Feel comfortable working in the gray, knowing that there are a lot of possibilities of how the future may play out.
That would be me. I always talk about ambiguity. I had a mentor of mine tell me, you know, that moving forward, I need to develop my zest for ambiguity.
What does that mean, zest for ambiguity?
Well, that the world don't think of the world as being so black and white. You know, that there's creativity, innovation comes from people looking at things from outside the lines. You know, they don't feel pigeonholed.
Siri needs to take a fucking ASL class.
I said that a lot. But I mean, now with AI, I guess Siri is considered AI, right, before? But now with ChatGPT, maybe they need to learn sign. They'll learn sign before Siri. I don't know. We'll see.
How do you feel about AI?
Again, everything in this world is shifting towards technology, and it can help with accessibility. Technology grows and expands quickly, and we have to go where the technology is. So that means, like, you know, with the iPhone, everyone shifted to the iPhone. And now with AI, again, I see some people have their negative perspectives on AI. But again, I graduated a master's program last year, and my professor said, the perspective on AI, they don't like it because there's no human connection. But some people say, that's the world we live in now. And we're progressing with technology, so go with it and bring it. But there's no right or wrong. Again, it comes down to accessibility.
Are you worried about the effects of AI to the environment?
You know, I think it's a mixed bag. Again, I think AI offers the opportunity to look at a lot of data much quicker than it would somebody going through index cards and trying to you know, come up with ideas on how to address things. But yeah, there's certainly concerns, and I think it's that loss of human connection, the loss that, you know, that a person's not actually engaged in how that data is being pulled.
Harold, you know, as a deaf man, I was curious of asking you about accessibility and accessibility, especially in the United States. How are things going in 2026?
Again, we've come a long way. A lot of fighting for our accessibility, our rights. And yes, things are getting better, especially with technology. Technology has made things very accessible and helpful. But again, you know what's happening right now in the world. And I feel like they're trying to backpedal with our accessibility. And I don't want to see that happen. But again, we've got to keep going forward and making progress. And we have a long way to go to becoming the best place we can be. But we are on our way there, yes.
Jeff, is accessibility a big factor of concern when at the national parks?
Certainly within the National Park Service and our historic structures, accessibility can be challenging. It doesn't mean it can't be overcome, but sometimes it has to be done in creative ways. But again, I think, as Harold says, technology helps a lot with making, you know, films, media, you know, the communication part more accessible. I think the challenge that sometimes the Park Service faces is in a historic structure of handicap accessibility, providing ramps, and does that alter the historic integrity of a structure? But I think, you know, it's been leaps and bounds of what the Park Service has been able to do with improving accessibility to our sites.
There is a lifetime pass that the national parks give out if you have a disability. Is this true?
Yes. Yeah, there are a number of passes that you can get for entrance to our national parks and public lands, or that have user fees.
Yeah.
And there is a one for Americans with disabilities.
Our crewman Jake over here, he has a lifetime pass. Did you know about this, Harold?
That's new information to me, but I've heard deaf friends talking about going to national parks and buying at a discounted rate. We definitely get it cheaper. So deaf is disabled. I mean, deaf is included in the disabled pass, but a lifetime pass, that's new to me, and that's really cool. Where do I sign up?
Where does he sign up?
Information, you should be able to Google about passes to national parks and public lands.
All right. Is that park? Or am I allowed to smoke weed there?
Federal lands, no, until
Damn.
until they take it off the list, prohibited list federally. That hasn't happened yet. I'm pretty sure it hasn't happened yet.
Good to know. With all the states that are allowing marijuana, that maybe people are waiting for the federal government to make it legal, and then it'll apply to national parks. Am I correct?
I think this administration would push that issue more than others have. So it may happen.
Hopefully, it needs to happen soon. It needs to help the world to calm down a little bit, you know?
Now it's time for a segment called Nature Signs with Harold Foxx, in which Harold will teach us nature signs in American Sign Language. Are you game?
Sure, if you guys are down, tell me what you want to learn.
Let's start simple. How do I sign nature?
So you make an N. Nature.
Oh, I see.
Nature.
Twirl.
Sometimes it can be confused with another word,
Okay.
like normal. This is normal. But if, like in the context, you're talking about nature. I'm out in nature. Nature.
What about tree?
Tree. If you're talking about one tree, one particular tree, if you're talking about a forest, you can move them, make a forest.
How about grizzly bear?
Grizzly bear.
Or
Wow.
just a bear?
I say you have to ask some deaf people in the Midwest to
Oh,
see
okay.
grizzly bears. We don't. I don't want to see one. But I've seen some people sign bear, grizzly bear. Bear is this. But yeah, grizzly bear.
What about fire pit?
Oh. I would say the fire pit. So fire, and then you'd make a pit with your hands. I've seen some ASL signers have their special sign for fire pit. But again, myself, no, I would say fire and then pit, P-I-T.
Okay. How would I say handsome, intelligent talk show host?
So Harold, your time in Washington State, well, it was a horror film. Sounds like you felt like you had some connection to nature there when you were in that setting.
Yeah. You know, we filmed for 3 weeks, and we would work Monday through Friday. And we were filming overnight a lot. But on Saturday and Sunday, I was off. And in those moments, when I was chilling, I mean, really, honestly, where I was staying at, I was in the middle of nowhere. There were no stores close by. We were like maybe 3 or 4 miles away from the nearest store. And so I would sit in a hot tub that was outdoors.
Yeah.
I had a grill, there were trees all around, and I would sit there and watch it while I smoked, and it was all good, and it was peaceful. And then I went back to work, and that was it. But being away from everything, no family, no friends. I mean, yeah, I would FaceTime my friends. It's a little different. But that helped me to definitely figure out myself and my character in the film. Because that film definitely applied to like how I had to react to being in the middle of nowhere. But you'll see more when the film releases.
And as being, you'd mentioned that you could tell, you felt like you were the only black person for miles. What, you know, did you feel welcome?
Again, like I said, I was raised in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm from the city. I lived in Washington, D.C. for 17 years and living here in Southern California for about 9, maybe 10 years now. So Washington State, for me, you know, there's different cultures. And yes, it was a strong white community. But I did feel welcome. It's just different.
Yeah.
And I love visiting different communities and seeing different cultures.
I did not grow up in a Chinese community, so I didn't even think of myself as being Chinese, which meant when I went into communities throughout Alaska, I didn't feel all that different, but it was interesting because a lot of people would confuse me as being Native Alaskan. They couldn't tell, but yeah, I just didn't, and it's an embarrassment for me today, the fact that I can't speak Mandarin. You know, my relatives will look at me and say, "What happened to you?" You know, it's like I had a defect from birth or something. But anyway, yeah, it's interesting, and the question of, you know, do black people feel welcome when they go into a national park or when they go into the you know, any park? You know, does it feel natural for them to be there, to recreate there, and to feel welcome? I think that's a big question as we look at, you know, all our public lands and all our parks moving forward.
Really, honestly, you know me. I'm a born and raised, I'm a city boy. I don't have any favorite national park. But where I was raised in my community, we would say, I'm going to Orange Mountain Park. And we knew we were talking about going to play basketball. So that's all I did. I would go play basketball at the park, and everyone would go dunk on each other there. But since living here, I've heard my friends saying that I'm going to Yosemite Park. And I would say, what's special about Yosemite? But they said it's beautiful, it's nature. I have gone hiking in Mount Rubidoux in Riverside, all the way up to the cross, but I won't go up to the top. People say, if you get up to the top, if you're able to get up to the top, then you can go to Yosemite. And I'm like, no, I'm not messing around with that shit.
Well, and now, I just want to ask you about the historic budget cuts to the Park Service and what that means, not just for accessibility, but for the parks in general, and how that's being addressed.
Well, the way we're seeing budget cuts playing out, they're really affecting our stewardship side of our jobs, taking care of the historic resources. So maintaining some of these places where we tell the stories of slavery, we tell the stories of internment, we tell the stories of signing the Declaration of Independence. Certainly what we're seeing now is unprecedented in terms of the amount of change, moving so fast, so quickly, with not a lot of understanding of what the end result is. So that's probably what we're seeing most, is the chaos and uncertainty that comes with making a lot of change very quickly and very little transparency of what the plan is.
And I mean, when we talk about nature, my perspective has changed towards nature in my life. I feel like we need our own spiritual connection with nature. And you get peace away from the city. With all that chaos happens out there. You go to nature, like here at the beach. You see the boats out there. I don't know if you call that a ship or a boat. You see the city out there, and it's perfect. We need this every day. As long as we can get less of city time, more nature time, it'd be good.
Jeff, I feel like I can read your mind. I know what you're thinking. You're wondering how to sign the dirty words, right? You're curious what the signs are for some of the dirty words. Harold, do you mind? I mean, this is Jeff wanting to know.
Are you sure you want to know? What words are you talking about, Jeff, in particular?
What would I call someone who's polluting the planet?
Oh. Damn. Is that a trick question? Really, the planet, you'd have to sign it all. The planet polluter.
Okay.
Planet dirtier. Ew. I don't know. Again, it depends on the room and the reaction.
How would I call someone an asshole?
You're an asshole.
Like that?
Asshole. You asshole.
Okay. What about shithead? This is a segment called For the People, for each of you to talk directly to the camera. Tell our audience the most urgent environmental issue that must be shared.
Sure, it's so important as parents, as adults, as elders, that we provide our children or the young next generation those immersive experiences in nature, because honestly, they're the ones that are going to figure out how to fix things and not us.
Again, we need everyone to come together and work together and ally with each other. We have so many people with such diverse cultural backgrounds, different colors, different types of humans, disabled, non-disabled people, and we all need to come together. And I think it's beautiful when we come together and work together, and it leads to the beauty. It makes a more positive impact on the future. We will always face barriers, and we have to learn to face our barriers and work through them for the better.
I feel like I learned something. I feel like it was a pleasure getting to know both of you. I have a favor to ask. Would you mind? We're on a beach, beautiful beach, beautiful weather. Do you want to take a family summer vacation photo with me?
Absolutely.
You want to do it?
I'm down.
We're talking shit around the fire pit, you know.
You know what? We did it. We saved the planet. Thanks for watching The Fire Pit, everyone. There's one last thing we all need to remember. The most important thing of all is to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you enjoyed, share with your friends. I'm sure they'd love to hear all of this wonderful messages that we've been sharing together tonight. There we go.
What rhymes with Jake? A lot of things. A lot of things rhyme with Jake until you're singing. Oh yeah. Yeah. Hang with Jake. It ain't a lake. Yeah, Fire Pit. God damn.